Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to break down a really practical framework for using AI responsibly in data analytics. We're going to look at how to build systems that you can actually trust, especially when the numbers really matter. So let's just dive right in.
You know, this is the question on every executive's mind right now, isn't it? With all the incredible power of these new AI models, why can't we just, ask it for our quarterly results? Well, the answer to that question gets right to the very heart of the problem that businesses are grappling with.
And there it is. The central conflict here is all about trust. Large language models, LLMs, they're amazing, but they have this one tiny issue. They can just invent things. They can hallucinate. And if you're running a business and you can't be 100% certain that the numbers are real, well, you've got a major problem on your hands.
So, to build a system we can actually trust, we can't start with the part that might make things up. No, we have to start with a solid and unshakable foundation of truth. This is our first and honestly our most critical layer.
We call this layer deterministic logic. Okay, so think of it like the steel frame of a skyscraper. It's defined explicitly in code. We're talking SQL transformations, semantic models, things like that. The key is, for the same input, you get the exact same output every single time. It is predictable, it's testable, and it is completely reliable.
And the real beauty of this layer is captured perfectly right here. Numbers you can audit. What does that mean? It means these are the numbers you can confidently take to your board, to your investors, or to regulators, because you can show them a perfect repeatable trace of exactly how that number was calculated. There are no black boxes here.
So the job of this layer is super clear. This is where your official key performance indicators live. It's where you define the stable core relationships in your data, like how a customer connects to their orders. And it's also what makes everything fast by pre-computing results. This is your single source of truth, period.
All right, let's move up to the next layer. Let's see how we can build some intelligence on top of our foundation of truth. This is where we start to deal with uncertainty, but, and this is key, in a controlled, measurable way.
And this is our machine learning layer. So if the deterministic layer is the skyscraper's steel frame, think of this layer as the building's smart systems. You know, the HVAC that predicts temperature needs, or maybe the security system that spots unusual activity. It doesn't change the structure, but it adds these really valuable, intelligent signals. So the crucial point here is that machine learning doesn't give you absolute audible facts. It gives you intelligent approximations, or signals. And most importantly, we can measure how uncertain those signals are. We can actually assess their accuracy with statistics and monitor how well they're doing over time. We can put a number on our confidence.
This layer is absolutely perfect for handling ambiguity. Things like trying to figure out if two customer records are actually the same person. That's a classic ML problem. It's also great for forecasting future sales or detecting anomalies in your data. These are incredibly valuable signals that exist alongside our rock-solid deterministic numbers. And now for the final layer. The one everybody is so excited about. This is the layer that makes the whole system easy to use, conversational, and just accessible to everyone.
Yep, it's the LLM layer. In our skyscraper analogy, this is the friendly, super helpful concierge in the lobby. Now, you wouldn't ask the concierge to re-engineer the building's foundation, right? Of course not. But you would ask them to help you find what you're looking for and explain how things work. That's the LLM's job.
And this quote just nails the LLM's true role in a trustworthy system. It is a translator, not a calculator. Its job is to understand what you're asking in plain English and to help tell the story of the data. But, and this is the most important part, it must always be grounded in the governed, truthful data from the layers below it. So what does that look like in practice? Well, it takes your question, like how did sales do in the Northeast last quarter, and it translates that into a precise, structured query for that deterministic layer. Then it can take a complex dashboard and summarize it into a few key bullet points for you. It's an assistant, a guide, that uses the trustworthy data to help you out.
Okay, so let's put it all together. Let's look at the complete blueprint for a modern, trustworthy data platform. This is really how all the pieces fit together to give you the best of all worlds. You get accuracy, you get intelligence, and you get usability.
This matrix right here is fantastic because it lays out the trade-offs so clearly. Just look at that top row. Deterministic logic, exact computation. ML models, probabilistic scores. And LLMs, probabilistic language. Now jump down to auditability. It's strong for deterministic. It's possible but requires work for ML, and it's by far the hardest for LLMs. This makes it incredibly obvious why each layer has a very specific job to do.
So how do you actually apply this?
Well, here's a super simple but powerful checklist. If the numbers you're creating are going into a financial report, boom, you have to use the deterministic layer. No exceptions. If you're trying to predict something, well, that's a job for ML. And if you're building a chatbot to help users explore data, that's where the LLM shines, as long as you make sure it's grounded in truth.
Now, it's important to realize this isn't just some technical architecture. It's a strategy. It's a way for you to innovate responsibly and to navigate the future of AI regulation, which, believe me, is coming a lot faster than many people think.
See, effective governance means you don't treat this whole system as one giant black box. You have to manage each layer on its own terms. For the deterministic layer, you govern the data schemas and the lineage. For ML, you govern the models themselves and you watch them for performance drift. And for the LLM, you govern the prompts and you focus intensely on content safety.
And this stuff matters right now. This isn't some theoretical exercise for the future. Major regulations like the EU AI Act are already on the books, with deadlines kicking in as soon as 2025. This layered approach, with its clear audit trails and safety by design principles, is exactly what these new rules are going to demand.
So if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. It's a simple mantra for building trustworthy AI systems. Use the right tool for the right job. Compute your facts with deterministic logic, predict your uncertain outcomes with machine learning, and interact with your users through language models. And that really brings us to the final, crucial question you should be asking yourself. As you build more and more AI into your analytics, are you building on a solid foundation of auditable truth? Or are you taking a leap of faith on a technology that we all know can be unreliable? This three-layer framework, it gives you a clear path to building that trust. And that's a question every single leader should be asking right now.